Q&A.
Yes, sir.
All right, since you like Beyonce, pretty much set up this question. If you're talking about you can back it up and whatnot, I mean, look, treasurer is an executive type of spot, and there have been times that you've been non-communicative, right? There were times that, for the lack of a better term, you're flaking out and whatnot, and to the point where everybody has to revolve around your schedule when you don't show up. How are you going to address that issue? Because, you're talking about money. And I think right now FOSTA has money, right? Yeah, quite a bit. And it didn't become that. That took like decades to build. So how are you going to address the issues that, following through? How are you going to?
Well, I think being a college student, and it is my first year here in UW, coming from a completely different environment, I'm still trying to get the gist out of being here. So yes, I admit had miscommunications in the past, and definitely it's more of every day is a learning day. So you learn, you get what you learn from it, and then you apply it to the next day, and hopefully, be a better person next day. I'm not sure if that answered the question.
So FOSTA has an incredible amount of events from pretty much every week. How are you going to prioritize the new events and the traditional events? And then on top of that, the treasurer often has to be the bad guy with saying no. How comfortable are you with saying no?
I'm fine with saying no. It's really a matter of, what matters most to our organization. What do we feel that we can contribute and how we can portray our image. And so, whatever, however we prioritize, our events, regardless if it's new, traditional, I really think it's up to us in our best judgment.
Can you read the questions again?
Yeah, again, FOSTA has a lot of events. How do you prioritize the new ones from new members and also the traditional events that you have? And then how comfortable are you with saying no?
Okay. Well, definitely, I want to make sure that we are focusing on the annual events, the traditional ones, and the newer events will definitely be there because that's what members want. So that's what we give them. And I'm comfortable saying no, but I want to make sure that by saying no, it's not going to compromise the outcomes of the events. It's still going to be a good event, even though, I'm saying no to this budget, but we'll make it work. Yes.
So this question is for both of you. A treasurer has to be fiscally responsible for the budget, but they also have to be fiscally knowledgeable of where they can spend money and how they can spend money. Let's say I have $100 and I'm telling you to provide me an open mic show. What resources do you have available on campus if you can only spend $100 to provide an open mic show? Can you guys give me some sort of magical event with $100?
For an open mic?
Open mic.
Given that this is my first year at UW, I am not knowledgeable, and I know that I can make, more of an effort to get to know the resources available on this campus. With that said, given, $100, that it's not that much for an open mic. But, if need be, as I mentioned before in my speech, fundraise if possible, and allow an ample amount of time for that.
So if we do have $100 for an open mic doesn't have to happen in a room. There's ways where there's a lot of places in UW that we can always utilize without paying unnecessary cost. And also I'm pretty sure there are resources here in UW, or maybe even outside UW, that we can utilize for this event.
So you said swear about the reins.
That's a good one.
Other canopies, I'm sure that resources that we can use that we're able to borrow from other organizations. If not, find a way. We'll make it happen.
And as an RSO, as a registered club, I'm pretty sure we have access from, because I know that whenever whenever FOSTA tables, they can get canopies, so maybe we can utilize those as well.
This is a question for you. How are you gonna, a lot of FOSTA spending is starting this summer, how are you gonna manage when you're on two separate trips?
I'll have internet connections, I'm pretty social. There's always Facebook. I know everyone's on Facebook, Google Docs. So, and I'm pretty knowledgeable how to use those websites.
Do you think the time difference will be interesting?
I don't think it would be. Honestly, I don't have a concrete question or answer to that question.
Joyce.
So we have a lot of big events, alumni dinner, film night, and conference. What are ways for you to make sure that FOSTA will have profit after all those events, and make sure that our money doesn't go under? If that makes sense.
Could you rephrase the question?
Yes.
Thank you.
How do you make sure, with all our big events throughout the year, that we will make profit out of that?
We can utilize each member of FOSTA or even the committee boards. We can ask them to, I know that there's a lot of events that FOSTA do that sells tickets. Make sure that those tickets are being sold and that we are getting sponsorship from different resources outside our campus. So it's not like we're always giving money out. It's more of like, hey, here, we'll help each other out and maybe connect with other RSO as well.
Yeah, to go along with what Gio said, maintaining the relationships that not only that are connections on campus, but as well as off campus as well. Like I mentioned before, I do have a list of potential sponsors that I hope to incorporate to add to our list of sponsors as well. And as far as money is concerned with these events, making sure that we budget accordingly throughout the year and given a certain trajectory and being able to use our money wisely.
So a lot of people are curious about what they get out of a FOSTA membership, and there are a lot of events throughout the year that cost money. So how would you determine, how would you come up with the price that will make members want to go, but at the same time get enough money to cost the cover?
I understand our financial situations as being college students. Making reasonable prices for memberships as well as any other events and costs. This is actually honestly some question that I did not think of an answer, so I'll get back to you on it.
Like what she said, like have prices that is reasonable, and also it would help if we explain to the members like why is the price like this, so they feel more comfortable that they're paying that amount of money for the events that they're going to.
The last question?
Last question. Cool. Awesome. So kind of piggybacking off Joyce and Dennis, what is more important to you, the profit or the experience?
I believe that experience is always something that cannot be measured. Price, I understand that it is an issue for many of us, especially with my own personal life. I understand that cost is very major issue.
What's more important to you, profit or experience?
And if costs are a concern, just utilizing our resources again on campus, off campus, using the relationships that we have built as far as fundraising, and also working with the fundraising chair. If we need to fundraise in order, to support the cost, the expenses, then so be it, and we'll find some way for it.
Also, yes, I would agree with the experience. The profit, money will always be there, but the experience that the members will get out of the events that's something you cannot change, so definitely experience.
All right, and that concludes our Q&A. Thank you.